Hi everybody. Today we're gonna learn the interpersonal communication and self. Um, um, we are learning object to this lesson. Define self concept and identity. The factors that should the development of your self concept. Okay, and then define self esteem and compare and contrast the self-esteem with self-concept. Define face work and discuss the way how you project your face and protect others' face. Okay, so this outline is a self-concept, self-esteem, face work. Self-concept is who you think you are. Self-esteem means your self-worth. It's different. Self-face work means presenting your self-image to others. It's different. So we're gonna learn that. Philosophers suggest that all people seek answer to three basic questions. First is, who am I? Second is, why am I here? Third question is, who are all these others? Who are all these others? So we focus on these essential questions and self as presented both online and face-to-face. We view these questions as progress. Okay? Fundamentally, all your communication starts or ends with you. When you are the communicator, your identity, you intentional or not unintentional code your thoughts and emotions to be interpreted by another. When you receive a message, you interpret the information through your own frame of reference. Your self-image and self-worth, as well as your needs, value, beliefs, and attitude, serve as filters for your communication with others. As you establish and develop the relationship, you may become more aware of these filters and perhaps want to alter them. A closer relationship often provides the impetus for change. To understand the role that self-concept plays in interpersonal communication. So we will explore the first two basic questions. Who am I? Why am I here? We will examine the multi-phase dimensions of self-concept, learn how it developed, and compare self-concept to self-esteem. What you choose to tell and not tell others about yourself will be important. Clues about who you are, what you value, and how you relate to others, other people. In addition, focusing on the needs wants, and values of other people while maintaining your own integrity is the basis of being other orientation. Self-concept. Who you think you are. Who you think you are. You have to define. You do define self-concept in identity. Okay. You can begin your journey of self-discovery by doing the exercise in improving your communication skills. Okay, so who you are. Improving your communication, you know that who you are. Consider this question, who you are, who are you? More specifically ask yourself this question. Who are you? Who are you? You ask yourself this question 10 times. Write your response in your papers. Okay? 10 times. I am a teacher. I'm a mom. I'm a blah 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 blah. So you write down, you answer the questions. Who are you? So your answer, I am 10 times. Your answer will help you begin to explore your self-concept and self-esteem. Okay? I am. I am. 10 times. Okay? Stop the pause. Stop, pause, and write down. How did you answer the question? How did you answer the question? Who are you? Perhaps you listed activities in which you participate or groups and organizations to which you belong. You may have listed some of the roles you assume, such as a student, I'm a student, I'm a child, I'm a parent. All these things are indeed a part of yourself, a part of yourself. The sum total of who you are. Psychologist Karen Honey defined self as that central interface common to all human beings and but unique in each, right? Which is the deep source of growth. One more time. Self as the central inner force, common to all human beings and but unique in it, which is deep source of growth. Your answers are also part of your self-concept. Your self-concept is a subject description of who you think you are. It is filtered through your own perception. For example, you may have a great musical talent, but you may not believe in enough to think of yourself as a musician. Think of your self-concept as the labels you consistently use to describe yourself to those. Self means sum total of who is person. Sum total of who or person. That's a person's center inner force. Self means the sum total of who a person is, a person's center inner force. That's same meaning. Self. Self-concept. Self-concept, a person's subject description of who he or she is. Healthy self-concept is flexible. Healthy self-concept a healthy self-concept is flexible. It may be changing depending upon new experience you have and insights you gain from others. Okay, but although your self-concept is changeable, core elements will remain. Core elements will remain. Otherwise, you to be so adaptable that you or others wouldn't be able to recognize the essence of you. Beside the issue of stability and change, people also vary in their level of self-awareness. Could you answer the "Who are you?" question quickly? Or did you have to take some time to ponder it? Some people do, some people not. Okay. Reflection is one of the most powerful tools you can use to enhance self-awareness. Reflection, is most powerful. Okay, most powerful tool. You can use the self-awareness. Okay, so we're gonna learn the attitudes, belief, value, reflect your concept. Okay, who you are anchored in the attitude, beliefs, and values, then you hold. Okay, you hold that things, attitude, belief, value. You were not born with a specific attitude. Attitude means what you like, what you don't like. That's attitude. That means learn predisposition to respond to a person. That's attitude. Beliefs, what you hold as true or false. What you hold as true or not true. Believe, that's it. What you hold as true or not true. Values, what you believe to be right or wrong. That's a value. These are learned construct that shape your behavior and self-image. An attitude is a learned predisposition to respond to person, object, or idea in a favorable, unfavorable way. So, attitudes reflect what you like, what you don't like. If you like school, if you like carrot, ice cream, and your mother and your sister, your friend, that you hold positive attitudes toward these things. You were not born with a fondness, right? For mother, your sisters, and ice cream, school. Believe. Belief means way. It's a person, things, object. It's a belief. Another way in which you structure your understanding of reality, what is true, what is false. Belief is the way in which you structure your understanding of reality. What is true and what is false for you. Most of your beliefs are based on previous experience. You believe that the sun will rise in the morning and then you will get burned if you put your hands on a hot stove. How are attitudes and belief related? Okay? They often function quite independently of each other. You may have a favorable attitude toward something and still believe negative things about it. You may believe, for example, that you or school football team will not win the national championship this year, although you may be a big fan. Or you may believe that God exists, but you may not always like that. You think God does or does not do. Beliefs have to do with what is true or not true. Attitude reflect likes and dislike. Value mean enduring concepts of good and bad, okay? Right and wrong. Your value are more resistance to change. It's hard than either your attitude or your beliefs. It's so value is so strong, fundamental, strong things. So they are also more difficult for most people to identify. Value are so central to who you are that it's difficult to isolate them. So, for example, when you go to the supermarket, you may spend a few minutes deciding whether you to buy regular or cream style corn, when you probably do not spend much time deciding whether you will steal the corn or pay for it. Our value are instilled in us by our earliest interpersonal relationship. For almost all of us, our parents shape our values, right? So it's a core. Value is core. Value is a core center. It's hard to change it. The value are central to our behavior and the concept of self, and that what we believe to be true. What we believe true or false stems from our value. Okay? And then belief and outside attitude. So attitudes are at the edge at the edge of the circle because they are the most likely to change. You may like the coworker today, but not tomorrow. Even though you believe the person will come to work every day, and you still value the concept of friendship. Okay, believe between attitude and value. Yeah, in the model. Yeah, because they are more likely to change than other core values. Okay. Okay. Okay, you understand attitude, what is attitude, belief, and values. Okay, the attitude like dislike, belief, true, false, value is good and bad. Okay, mindfulness. Mindfulness. You heard that mindful, yeah? Mindfulness being consciously aware. Aware. Mindfulness means the ability to consciously think about what you are doing and experiencing. Mindfulness is the ability to think constantly, consciously about what you are doing and experiencing rather than responding out of habit or intuition. If you ever talked on the phone while driving, that's illegal. Yeah. You may not have talked on the phone while you may not have been mindful. Okay, you may not have been mindful. That means consciously thinking about where you are going. Okay, researchers have described three ways of being mindfully self-aware or conscious of who you are and what you are doing. That's a subject aware self-awareness, and object self-awareness, and symbolic self-awareness. Sub subject self-awareness means ability different different differentiate the self from the social and physical environment. Subject self-awareness is the ability to differentiate ourselves from one environment. You are separate being apart from your surrounding it. Yet, for example, you are not physically attached to the chair you may be sitting in. Yeah, you are a separate entry from all that is around you. Separate, okay? Object self-awareness means ability to be the object of one's own thought and attention. To be aware of one's state of mind and what one is thinking. So object self-awareness is ability to be the object of our own thoughts and attention. So you have the ability to think about your own thoughts you are thinking. Not only are you aware that you repeat, not only are you aware that you are separate from your environment, that's a self awareness, but you can also ponder the distinct thoughts you are thinking about. That's object self-awareness. Of course, object self-awareness, like subject self-awareness, can be turned on and turned off. Sometimes you are aware of what you are thinking about, and something you are unaware of what you are thinking or about what you are thinking about or what you are focusing on. Another thing, the symbol self-awareness. Uniquely human ability to that's uniquely it's a human ability to think about oneself and use a language. Language is symbols to represent to oneself to others. The symbolic self-awareness, very, very unique. For example, you have the ability to think about how to make a good impression on others. In an effort to make a positive impression on someone, you may say, "Hi, good morning, Mrs. Sook. You look nice the evening. You look nice. Hi." Then rather than hi, yeah, you make conscious attempt to use symbols to influence the way you want to be perceived by others. That's a 4 stages model, how aware or unaware we are of what we are doing at any given moment that has been attributed to psychologist Abraham Maslow. The stage 1, unconscious incompetence. Stage 2, conscious incompetence. Stage 3, conscious competence. Stage 4, unconscious competence. Stage 1, unconscious incompetence. For example, at one point in your life, you didn't know how to ride a bicycle, and you didn't even realize that you were missing the skill. You were unconsciously incompetent about your bicycle riding skill. Next stage, conscious incomplete. You know what you don't know. Continuing an example, at some point you realize that others couldn't ride a bike and you could not. You become conscious of your incompetence with regard to bicycle riding. Next stage, conscious competence. Okay. When you first learn to ride a bike, if you, like most people, you had to concentrate on keeping your balance and focus on riding forward without falling over. Unconscious competent. At this level, your skills become a second nature to you. Now, you just get on the automatically, start pedaling. The same could be said about tying your shoes. You don't have to think about how to tie your shoes. You just do it without thinking about each step. That's unconscious competence. So this same of 4 stages explain how you learn any skill, from riding a bike to enhancing the interpersonal communication skills we discussed. Okay. One or many selves. Self is one or many self. We have a lot of self. It's do you know the material self? Yeah, the 3 classic components of self: the material self, social self, and spiritual self. Material self means a concept of self as reflected in the total of all the tangible things you own. So your body, your possessions, and your home. As you examine your list of response to the question, who are you? Note whether any of your statements refer to one of your physical attributes or something you own. So you have a material self. And we have a social self. Look at you, or who are you? List once more. How many of your response related to your social self? The part of you that interacts with others, right? William James believed that you have many social selves, that depending on the friend, family member, colleague, or acquaintance with whom you are interesting, you change the way you are. So, for example, when you talk to your best friend, you are willing to let down your hair and reveal more thoughts and feeling. You are willing to, then you would in a conversation with your communication professor. Okay, that's unique. So social self, each relationship that you have with another person is unique, because you are bring to it a unique social self, right? And the spirit self, that concept of self basis on thoughts and introspection about personal values, moral standards, and beliefs. That's a spiritual self. It does not depend on what you own or with you talk. It is essence of who you think you are and your feeling about yourself, apart from external evaluation. So, um, um, you know, beliefs, your sense of who you are in relationship to other focus in the universe. So, the golden rule, right? Golden rule. Golden rule. You heard that. It is other oriented universal. Cultural difference among the words people include the difference in language, food, and housing preference, and a host of other elements, right? Anthropologists and communication scholars who study intercultural communication, a topic we will discuss in the more detail. The value of adapting to cultural difference in order to understanding others better, right? But it is possible that dispute our difference, a universally held principle influence the behavior of all the people. How do you think that? You know the Christianity as the golden rule, yeah? Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, and Zoroastrianism. It's relating to diverse others. Hinduism said that do nothing to others that would cause pain if done to you. The Buddhists, one should seek for others the happiness one desire for oneself. Taoism regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain and your neighbor's loss as your loss. And Islam, no one of you is a believer until he desires for his brother that which he desired for himself. And Christianity, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. So, self is a three dimension. It's a material self, social self, and spiritual self. It's a material self, but is body, clothes, a car, home, that's it. Social self, your informal self interaction with your best friend, your formal self interacting with your professors, formal and informal. Yeah. The spiritual self is a belief or disbelief in God, regard for life in all its forms. Okay. How develop your self-concept? How your self-concept developed? Some psychologists and sociologists have advanced theories that suggest you learn who you are through 5 basic means. 5 basic means. First, interaction with other individuals. Second, association with groups. 3, roles you assume. 4, labels. And 5, fifth, your personality. Okay. Like James' framework, these 5 basic means do not cover every base in the study of the self, but these constructs can provide some clues about how your own self-concept develops. Okay. Learning. We are learning the interaction with the individuals. interaction with the individuals. In 1902, Charles Horton Cooley first advanced the concept of the looking glass cell, which was his term for the notion that we form our self-concept by seeing ourselves in a kind of figurative looking glass. We learn who we are by interacting with others, much as we look at the mirror and see our reflection. Like Cooley, George Herbert Mead also believed that our sense of who we are in a consequence of our relationship with others. And Harry Stack, the civilian theorized that from birth of that ourselves change primarily because of how people respond to us. The process begins is birth. At birth, our names, one of the primary ways we identify ourselves, are given to us by someone else, right? During the early years of our lives, our parents are the key individual who reflect who we are. As we become less dependent on our parents, our friends become highly influential in shaping our attitude, beliefs, and values. And as we grow older, friends continue to provide feedback on how well we perform certain tasks. This feedback, in turn, helps us shape our sense of identity as adults. We must acknowledge our talent in math, language, art, in our own mind before we say that we are mathematics, linguistics, artists, right? Fortunately, not all feedback affects our sense of who we think we are. We are likely to incorporate others' comments into our self-concept under three conditions: frequent, credible, and consistent. Frequent, how frequently the message is presented. We are more likely to believe another's statement if he or she repeats something we have heard several times. Okay? Credit. We are more likely to value another statement if we perceive him or her to be credible. If we believe the individual is competent, trustworthy, and qualified to make a judgment about us, then we are more likely to believe the person's assessment, right? And consistent. We are likely to incorporate another comment into our own concept of self if the comments are consistent with the other comments and our own experience. If your boss tells you that you work too slowly years, people have been urging you to slow down. Then your previous experience will probably encourage you to challenge your past evaluation. Attachment style. Attachment style, according to several researchers, you've developed an attachment style based on how secure, anxious, or uncomfortable you felt in the relating to one or both of your parents. The emotional and relational bond that you developed early on with your parents influenced your concept of self. And continue to influence how you relate to others. Why should you be interested in your core attachment style? Your attachment style influences the nature of friendship you developed, your motivation to hook up with others, and the overall pattern in how you relate to others. Research suggests that you developed one of the three different types of attachment styles. Attachment style. Oh, sorry. Style. Secure. Three styles. Anxious. Another thing is avoidant. Secure attachment style. Secure attachment style. You have a secure attachment style if you're comfortable giving the receiving the affection, experiencing intimacy, and trusting other people. A secure attachment style likely reflects a strong, trusting, close, predictable, and positive emotional bond with your parents. You know that the secure attachment style. Yeah? Individual with a secure attachment style experience greater overall feeling of hope and relationship satisfaction and tend to disclose more personal information about themselves. Similar results have been found when couples with secure attachment styles are in romantic long distance relationship. There is a greater feeling of closeness even when the partner is many miles away. Research has also found that for people with a secure attachment style are more likely to emerge as leaders, and to have improper memory and recognition of words with positive emotional connotations. About 60% of people developed a secure attachment style. Next, anxious attachment style. You may have developed a anxious attachment style if you received some affection, but not practically enough to feel completely secure. As a result, you may experience some anxiety about intimacy and about giving and receiving affection. Individuals with anxiety attachment style report feeling more negative emotions and stress when interacting with others, especially a romantic partner. They also report more Facebook is jealousies and are more likely to keep tab on others on Facebook. About 10% of the population develop an anxiety attachment style. Last thing is avoidant attachment style. Finally, you may have an avoidant attachment style if you consistently received too little nurturing. People who had this type of upbringing may feel considerable discomfort and awkwardness when expressing or receiving intimacy. They may tend to fear and avoid relational intimacy, with others, be more self-reliant and have more doubts about the romantic love. Because of a lower performance for intimacy, individuals with avoidant attachment style make a fewer phone calls and send fewer text messages to their romantic partners. They are also less likely to reach out for help to improve troubled relationship. About 25% of the population fit this attachment style profile. Your concept of yourself as someone who enjoys strong emotional connections with other people, or as someone who is anxious about or avoids relational intimacy, is influenced by the degree of attachment you felt during the favorite years. One study found that when wives with anxious attachment styles were married to husbands with avoidant styles, this couple experienced more stress during marriage to of material conflict, as evidenced by their psychological response to conflict. You should neither blame or nor congratulate your parents for everything about way you related to people today. But researchers suggest that only relationship connection with our parents do influence the way we relate to others. Another, we focus that association with the groups is reflect once more on your response to the Who are you? Questions. How many responses associate you with a group? Religious, politics, political, ethic, social study, professional group, and other things play important roles in determining your self concept, right? The associating with the group is especially important for people who are not part of a dominant culture, gay and lesbian, right? For example, find the support provided by associate with other gays and lesbian to be beneficial to their well-being. The groups you associate with provide not only information about your identity, but also social support. Role and assume. Look again at your answer though. Who are you question? Perhaps you said you see words that persist to signify a role you often assume. Father, aunt, sister, uncle, manager, writing, teacher. That's a role. And okay. Another who you are. Okay, let me see. Comparing communication technology, yeah, comparing the communication technology self, cyber self, and your real space self. Is comparing. You can comparing. You know that EMC, electronically mediated communication, right? What are key difference between online self and office offline self? What's the overall tone and the quality of our cyberspace relationship? How does communication in cyberspace influence our sense of self? How honest are we in cyberspace? Communication researchers Laser Tidewell and Joseph Walter found that when people communicate via email, they perceive themselves and others to more conversationally effective because they exchange information more directly with each other. Perhaps people perceive their online communication is more effective because they can edit and revise what they write before sending it or posting it. Email conversation partners report feeling more confident when communicating online than in their face-to-face encounters. We are likely to be less truthful about ourselves online than face-to-face. two internet researchers found strong evidence that people are much more likely to misrepresent themselves in cyberspace than in a real space relationship. Okay, and research participation reported that their face-to-face relationships are more serious in tone than their exclusively online relationship. But we also work at keeping our online relationships strong by responding to friends' posts, sending birthday greeting, and offering words of support. Okay. Okay, today's we finished that here. Next we start the level androgynous role. We'll keep learning about self. Okay, see you. Bye bye.